As the state will go through with the execution of a Columbia man who killed 3 people in 1994. Ernest Johnson was convicted in 1995 for killing the victims at a Casey's General Store during a robbery. Governor Parson declined to grant clemency to Johnson despite requests from the Pope, federal lawmakers, and other advocates. He is scheduled to die by lethal injection tomorrow at the state prison in Bonne Terre. Tonight, ABC 17's Layla Mitchell and ABC 17 News anchor Lucas Geisler dive into the background of the case and how it affected the community. We're going to start with Layla, who is live at the scene where the killings happened more than 25 years ago. Layla, you spoke with a former police chief who was one of them investigating on the scene.
Yeah, Deb, so I sat down with Randy Boehm, a former officer at the time of the murders, who told me about his experience investigating the scene of the triple homicide that would lead to the Ernest Johnson execution.
It was a rare enough incident, and it caused enough panic in the community that it's something that you remember for a long time.
27 years ago, on a cold night in February, 3 people were killed at the hands of Ernest Lee Johnson, a crime that would shake the community. Responding officers found 3 victims: Mary Bratcher, Fred Jones, and Mabel Scruggs. Randy Boehm was one of the investigating officers. He said he had never witnessed such a serious crime.
Originally thought that they had been shot, but it was later determined by the amount of blood and the type of injuries that most of the damage most of the injuries were the result of using a hammer and a screwdriver.
Boehm was called to the scene the day after the murders and was involved in doing a perimeter search looking for any evidence that would lead to a suspect.
At that time, there was a large field across the street from that Casey's, and that's where we had thought that some of the evidence might be found. So we determined that when we identified that Mr. Johnson was the suspect, he lived across that field in a subdivision not far from there, and so that is the way that he had escaped after committing the crime.
Boehm told me the murders caused fear in Columbia.
Notice in the police world is that we have a real increase in calls of suspicious activity and that sort of thing after something like that occurs, because people are concerned and they're watching everything, and something that may have not caused any fear before that, now it does.
Now, Boehm told me this was a case that stuck with him throughout the years, and now he's ready for the victims and their families to get justice. Now, I will continue to cover the Ernest Johnson execution, and I will actually be there at 6 o'clock tomorrow when he is executed in Bonne Terre, Missouri. Reporting live in Columbia, Layla Mitchell, ABC 17 News.
Layla, thank you.